the community, but not much has been said about Adam. This is the biggest game that Adam has ever played in, and pressure just continues to accumulate on his shoulders to find himself in these circumstances up against what many consider to be one of the best teams in the world. Well, it's a rough start because Adam is the first casualty of this series. Unwanted already suffering with 90 seconds off of the clock.
Yeah, looking for a trade back, but it's a bit slow from the Candelas. Hot and cold, thankfully, is voiding those nitro cells. A lot of util coming through. Is anybody going to actually enter, though? That's the question. 2 Candelas still in the pockets of Spirits, still some Firebolt and Smoke Bolts from Hot and Cold. Gavin will strike back, finding Vidaking, and they're still looking for more. Dream outside the building finds 2.
Why are they stacking up on white stairs? Why do they not have that information? Now it's Souls tucked into a corner, but watched on the windows by Unwanted, and he might be in a tough spot where there's limited opportunity for him to get out with his life intact. Handy is on the other side of the map and just got exposed from that position. Hot and looking for the follow-up, but a little bit too slow. Handy can easily go for the drop and will now need to retake towards red stairs as Spirits drops. And there's a flank to come through with the pistol out, a brazen engagement that he loses. But they've got information. That leaves 1 player on site. 3 remain from Unwanted. Souls taking out Gavin and Faze Clan in their matchup against Space Station yesterday showed us how they can turn the tides when they are outnumbered. And it looks like they just might do it again. Oh my God, picking up from where they left off yesterday. Faze Clan already off to a hot.
But it's not going to last forever. The hatch opens now, and the angle to the bomb site opens with 35 seconds.
And this will be a death drop from Unwanted as they will rely entirely on these Sens walls to conceal them. Hot and Cold goes for the drop, and another one will go out as he shrugs off some damage by the freezer vaults. Just narrowly missing out on those tracers and will now tuck himself into the corner where the gas misses. Hot and Cold might be getting away with murder. 10 players still alive in the server, and Unwanted pull off the plant. Now in the post plant, they need to pick off Faze one by one. Vidaking the first casualty, off to an uncharacteristically slow start. Souls, who was terrific in the previous round, still fragging out. Souls is on the diffuser, but you got Gavin from above who will now likely drop unless they want him to just stay in this spot, and why not? All the tools, all the tricks of the trade being thrown in his way. Gavin eliminating the smoke. Aerial superiority. The high ground just too much. And Dream hits a 2K to send the round away. Tie game. 4 is destructible, and yet Gavin remained unbothered and still very much alive. That allowed the rest of Unwanted to circle around the bomb site once Hot and Cold got the job done. Now, Adam is having quite a rough go of it. He didn't die in the previous round, but he's been the opening death in rounds 1 and 3. Maybe he's not an odd number guy.
Well, I'm excited to see him around number 4 as he pops off. Yeah, a little bit of an over-eager entry to that bottom floor. Assuming it was clear when it wasn't, perhaps a missed drone. Whatever the case, that will be an early man advantage for Faze Clan.
Remember, Dream's focus in round number 1 was over here towards white stairs. He's positioned in the exact same way. You've got to be a little concerned with these Faze Clan players. Dream dies, but Claymore gets the trade after he had an earlier pick on the KDS. Dream is seemingly leveling up. The longer that this team plays on land, the better Dream continues to get.
Uh-oh.
Oh my, Hot, and what lies below is something you need to concern yourself with. Unwanted has been picked apart all over the map at this point, and now a retake from above, thought otherwise by Vidaking. Gavin and Spirits, the last 2 that remain.
I've learned one thing though, Parker, never count out a French-Canadian on our shield. Spirits has been ridiculous with these shields all tournament long. Everybody's been highlighting it. And the Blackbeard, his only option, just wants to go crazy with a fuse to rock that utility here on Cafe. Watch out!
Are you kidding me?
Quick from Gavin.
Gets off the drone, shoots the nitro cell, gets right back on, and now he's got a read down below on that mute. Spirits is attempting the distraction, it works. Gavin grabs him, and now top floor control is theirs, but I always worry when you're in a clutch situation against Faze Clan. What works in Unwanted's favor, though, Jesse, neither of these two players have a single kill. Cyber will break that, picks up 2 in very quick order. And again, the problem for Unwanted against Faze Clan comes in the final moments of the round.
Unwanted have been really good about not giving those opportunities. If they're peeking angles, it's often with the shield. Otherwise, it's the drone that goes in first. And that's the slow, steady pace of Unwanted that they've shown throughout this tournament. It's been really impressive so far, but they still got to find some way to get an opening pick.
Vidaking was itching for a fight from Lumber over towards this white window. He takes a bit of damage as now utility clear will go in through the hatch. Spirits drops, blinded by his own teammates. In a very powerful position for KDS to play as the retake from Faze looks so good. Dissension amongst the ranks of Unwanted. Only 2 remain from Unwanted yet again. They've done very little to knock Faze off of this defense. Some damage has been done to Cyber, but that's really it, and not a lot to write home about for Unwanted.
Yeah, and especially on a map like Cafe, I mean, there's just no easy way to get into the building at this point. Handy still holding Cigar, hot and cold, just baiting for a kill on the window, because he knows that if they don't find a pick this way, it's unlikely they're going to get one at all. Does get Vidaking eventually. Patience pays off. And that's the first of 5. They're going to need to clean up to secure this round and make it 2-2. The time, though, it is not on their side. 40 seconds.
No, I think this is what we're going to see similar to the previous round. This will be a perilous rappel on in and a very swift lockout from Faze Clan. They bought themselves some time with Hot and Cold now sitting in the midst of the smoke. KDS popping up. How about a 4K for KDS? A huge round from him and from Faze Clan. The 2 shields that don't really get kills are banned. The shield that you expect to get an awful lot of kills is the Blackbeard, and that's the one that Spirits has been using. He's inching his way towards the bomb site, and he's caught on a crossfire. Another early death from Unwanted.
That's rough timing. Soulsworth coming around the corner at the perfect moment to catch the backside of Spirits. That space that he's trying to make couldn't be grabbed, but there's Dream again with an answer. He's getting off these early aggressive players.
Jesse, he's getting half of these kills without even entering the building, for crying out loud.
I think he's gotten most of them from outside at this point, Parker, and I think that really comes down to his playstyle. He's holding these angles. They're waiting for Faze to make these moves, and they are getting the punishes, but as Mint said in the tactical timeout, they're not able to convert that.
Pixel spot was an issue in particular for the timeout, and would you look at that? KDS is in the exact same spot. He's got a golden opportunity. As they hit goo mines, way towards the map, way towards the bomb site. KDS doesn't see Dream, who's now entered the building. That pixel spot has been flushed out, and now we have a great round from Unwanted. They pick off Handy, and Vidaking with a single kill will have to hold this bomb site together. You ever see that Spider-Man movie where he's trying to pull the ship back together with the webs?
Yeah.
That's Vidaking right now on this round.
Yeah, he's got a lot to do here, Parker. Obviously, the players of Unwanted outside the building. His one advantage, though, there's only 20 seconds on the clock. If he can stop a plant, never mind.
Issuing a correction here. He cannot stop the plant.
No, that's going to be tough from the grave. Caught up by a window. I mean, this is happening a lot for Faze Clan. Despite the fact that they were up 3-1, now it's 3.
And the team listens to their coach. They win the round off of it.
I gotta compliment Faze's site selection here. They took the tack timeout on Unwanted right before they expected a kitchen bomb site. We didn't see that now through the entire half. Hold on, Cyber's out the window. Fine Spirits traded by Gavin. That's gonna be a 1-for-1. You killed the Blackbeard though. Spirits will not find a kill through the first half. That is a massively impactful pick. And I think Cyber, despite being on the Wamai, who can be a really powerful late round operator, is probably walking away from that thinking like he won.
Terrible beginning for Spirits as obviously they managed to keep it close with that vault out, but that's a huge net win for Faze. I would trade out a Wamai for a Blackbeard any day of the week. You do not want Spirits to continue on this downward trend. We highlighted this during the group stage when we casted Unwanted. It's that sometimes you get games from Spirits where he goes 0-12.
Yeah.
And then the very next map he goes 21-5.
Well, I mean, he's got a tough role too, being the point man on the shield. That round was a bit of a difficult one, but previously he is kind of that guy making the space. Sometimes Blackbeard can be a fragging off, but sometimes it is just trying to play similar to a Monty, find that for your team.
They've used him both ways so far.
They have.
This round, we're not really going to get to see how effective he can be. Gavin dies at the hands of Candy, finds a second now onto Adam. Adam also killless in this first half. A combined 0-9 for 2 players on the side of Unwanted is devastating in the hardest match that they've had so far in this event. And it's on very familiar territory. It's their own map. They knew that FaZe Clan were proficient here, but I mean, at some point when you get to this current point in time, you're gonna have overlap on your map pool. Handy goes down, what a reflexive shot. He finds 2, and the numbers suddenly way closer in this round, far more winnable. Hot and cold at the halfway point of the diffuser, but has to fear what is above. That's KDS sending shockwaves through the defenders. Souls looking for an opportunity now against Dream. An easy win, and now it's Houghton fending for his life by himself. He tries for the slow peek, but KDS is just a little bit better, and the first half goes in favor of the Brazilians. Look at maps 2, maybe even map 3, should layer even be needed. You need to play your own game, settle in. 2 of your players need some form of motivation right now because Unwanted is being dragged to the finish line primarily by Dream, and 1 man alone is not going to be enough.
Clinical Twitch play from Cyber cleared out a lot of those mute jammers and got really good intel as to where that player is at over towards Cocktail. Can they convert that to an opening? Spirits with the smart goggles on, dispatches Souls. Adam dies yet again. That's Spirits' first kill. Adam will be apprehended. Spirits putting in some serious work, but KDS cannot be slowed down as both of these teams come to blows, neither with an advantage. Halfway point, 2 defenders, 2 attackers, and a showdown for an incredibly crucial round. If FaZe Clan win this, Jesse, they are in the home stretch of this map. If Unwanted can win, we got ourselves a ball game. Bit of soft breach too from Faze Clan. Obviously they got those Zode destructibles, but KDS should have a secondary shotgun as well, which they can both use to work these floorboards. Hot and Cold's gonna sit and train Gavin over by red stairs. That leaves Reading a little bit exposed, but if they can correctly predict where this push is gonna come, or if we can see a really late flank coming around towards that pillar side of the map, this could be devastating.
Houghton is not really in a position where he's supported by Gavin, so at the moment, they'll both be playing like individuals. Gavin found out by KDS, and now Houghton will have a shoulder peek as he gives his position away. He waited a second for Vidaking. He could have made something work, but he gets run right over. These late rounds for FaZe.
Another plan for those Zoto canisters. I sure hope he's got some ideas.
Oh.
That's nice.
I believe that's called redundancy.
Yeah.
Hot and Cold dies, though. He gets caught out by Handy. A devastating first blow dealt to Unwanted by FaZe. They have been playing very slow on the side of FaZe. They have a golden opportunity now as those Zoto canisters will go down over towards Freezer. But right now, nobody's being frozen out at the moment as the diffuser is good. 2 shots from Unwanted landing, but Souls is there for coverage over towards delivery. Down to a 3v3. The Yokai drones were unsuccessful in stopping the plant, and none of those Goyo canisters seem to be of much use. KDS shot through the wall as Adam and Gaveni both double up on it, but you've gotta work the time if you're Unwanted. You are letting this round slip through your fingers as Vidaking and Souls are still posted up to greet Gavin and Adam as they come back to the bomb site. The hatch being watched as now a drop goes in, a 1v1 with very little time, and Souls is so damn good. Every single round he puts himself in a winning position with limited time on the clock, and he is single-handedly demolishing Unwanted.
And they've had to gel is insane between these 2 teams, and Unwanted, that can't be an excuse. You've got to overcome that. At this point, 6 Invitational, top 4, there's no, well, you know, top 4 is good enough. Everybody wants to win.
In every event, to your point, we talk about how FaZe is always one of those teams that you can guarantee will make a deep run.
Yep.
Every time we're asked, who do you think is going to make it? Every time the community is asked, who do you think is going to make it? When you ask the players that same question, FaZe is always included in that answer. And they're in for a surprise on this round. Houghton pops up doing his best Hicks impression. Downstairs by the brown stairs, completely undroned. That's a throwback for those that might not have been watching when Hicks was on Millennium. And then Lestream, I believe it was.
This has been a really slow round from FaZe Clan. 60 seconds we just hit, and I mean, what map control have they taken? They're into the bottom floor. Unwanted have not been fighting them. They've conceded a lot of ground.
And a missed opportunity as Vidaking gets classic siege timing. A grenade now thrown out to displace Gavin from the laundry door. Missing water if he fell out of a boat. Handy and KDS last two standing, but when they're outnumbered, they seem to thrive. They've got a read on white stairs. One of those SAS operators sits patiently and waits. KDS will have him on lock, waiting for him to walk up, but KDS botches the shots, and Spirits and Dream will lock out the final moments of that round, showing that Unwanted will not go down without a fight. First half, they saw immediate success, but they kind of lost the plot after that as Vidiking survives a bit of a scare, Jesse. 45 seconds in, trying to get down off of that second floor rooftop terrace.
Yeah, caught from somewhere. That's going to be a lot of HP suffered, but still one-shot headshot game. He will have his guns up, but just getting to the roof now, starting to open these hatches. Of course, that is going to be the game plan top floor, right? He's Gridlock once again coming out from the Souls to stop any sort of a flank. Not that there is one brewing.
3 sets of track stayers on top of that, by the way. 3.
Hey, we talk about redundancies of the Galio canisters. Why not more with the grid? Sometimes you can throw them and they don't really catch the things you want them to catch. Dream rotates down to that bottom floor. Hot and Cold sitting down there too. So that flanking potential does exist now. But that's not where the focus is for Faze.
Last set of utility from the Gridlock is just one grenade, and now fighting through the bees. Handy looking for a follow-up. Baited into bar, backstock, but Faze Clan pummeling Unwanted. Faze Clan seem to be at their best with their backs against the wall, but they've broken this round open, and there's no walls in sight. Houghton and Dream against the 4 players of Faze, and his diffuser almost went down. Unwanted have very limited information. Houghton had the read on KDS. One big kill as now Souls goes for the plant. But both players from Unwanted are on the floor below Jesse. A Nitro Cell connects and the diffuser does not go down. It was a hair away from happening, and that could have been the map for Unwanted, but they keep it locked in for the time being. Cyber now with diffuser tucked into a corner over by Cocktail as Vidiking will go for the outside rappel to cover. Watching back bar, the retake from Unwanted up the stairs. A very powerful position as Cyber might not even need Vidiking. He does it all himself. And Faze Clan snatch Unwanted's map away in very short order.
We'll start with a full map clear.
What a top 4 we have though, right?
Yeah.
You've got the defending major champions from Manchester that didn't even make it to Montreal to be able to put that title on the line. They beat BDS. The major champions from Montreal, W7M, they're not here. They beat BDS. Guess who's here? BDS is here. Furia, who won SI last year on home soil, they're still here. The team that they beat in the most thrilling game that we have seen possibly in the history of this esport is Faze Clan, and they are still here as well. I know that during Phase 1 and Phase 2 we talked about good teams going home, but you've got 4 of the best that are still standing and no real surprises outside of maybe Unwanted after the small downturn they took around the time of the Montreal game.
Certainly, and I mean, obviously this team's had some problems, but they can open things up. Yes, they will. An opening pick onto a Ying of all operators is going to be incredibly impactful for the North American squad.
Cyber was just a step away from dying to that same Nitro Cell too, so Unwanted could have found themselves a terrific start. Instead, they'll have to settle for getting rid of the most utility-heavy operator. Maybe you can make an argument that it's the Grim. All 5 canisters full of bees and both EMPs still remain.
No can openers being brought, nor is there any Hibana, and of course Mavericks banned out, so these thermite charges are going to be all they have to open up these hatches. They've started off with the Moto hatch and then looking for kitchen as well. It is still reinforced. If this gets denied, this is actually a huge problem for Faze Clan. There are impacts on the side of Unwanted. It's Gavin who's playing it down inside a church. There's a Nitro as well. Houghton tries to just shoot him out with his gun, but he can't quite get there in time. So, hatches will be opened, but there's only 2 angles to really get down through the site.
Yeah, it's going to be not a linear take for Faze Clan by any stretch of the imagination, but a very standard one. Hot and Cold and Adam both hunted by Grim's gadgetry as now Souls will drop. Nobody playing AK. So instead, he's got a golden opportunity to hold down this position. Adam with a Nitro Cell, the second explosive gadget from Unwanted doing its job as 2 players come alive on the side of Faze. Answered back by 3 on Unwanted. I'm no mathematician, Jesse, but that gives Unwanted the round.
It does, Parker, it does. And pick up onto the Monty, and this might just be able to make the space and force Gavin out without clearing these Kibas.
Gavin is doing an exceptionally good job at wasting time here, Jesse. He's got hot and cold for backup. Right now, 4 members of Faze Clan all trying to tackle this red and cash hold that Unwanted are fully committed to. Gavin under some serious heat. The mountain creeping up on him as now Houghton looks for an opening. Faze take one of these 2 players down and will now get a good read on Houghton, who manages to get out of there with his life still intact. Handy gets him on the follow-up. Things not so good, as Handy's actually in weight room. He's so close. Or no, rather one of these players will play it from their silhouette. We got bamboozled.
Yeah, obviously that's not the roam game that Unwanted wanted. Hot and cold. Cashed or cursed a little bit, couldn't quite make it back to the site in time. Now this is going to be a 5v3 execute.
It was KDS that we were looking at, whose silhouette appeared to be over in that direction, but he was still outside on the balcony. Now Invitational, as he's worked his way inside a weight room, carrying the team on his back. Dream in front of the door, and he falters as Faze are taking no one for an answer. Adam in a 1v5. He's got his hands full. This is such a tough position for him to be in, knocking away the Monty, and now all of Faze Clan will be in on the axe. Slow on these attacks, but slow and steady wins the race. They're looking to flush out these defenders from Unwanted, and are doing a mighty fine job. Slowly but surely, all of these obstacles are getting chipped away at.
Nobody's giving up their positioning, though. They're just starting to open the main wall now, and there's the first swing. Hot and cold punished by the captain.
They'll find another out on Rafters. Dream with the lone kill for Unwanted in this round. He and Adam will need to work together, as there's 3 still up for Faze. Diffuser going down. Nitro Cell tossed out by Adam, but it's miles away. KDS pulling that one off. Dream looks for the secure inside of construction, but he's in a rough place. Still all the depth marks there for KDS. He'll use one on Dream, and Handy will be credited.
Cold tried to hide in the prep phase so they wouldn't be ready for them, but they've of course seen them now. Very default position for a lot of these Valve cams, on the left side of your screen as well.
A stealth drop on the Spirits. The Cyber and him will do battle. Spirits still looking for kill number 1.
How did they both live through that engagement?
I'm lost for words.
That's crazy. Gonna slow things down a little bit as Faze Clan just keep working on this soft breach. I think they're happy with that. They force Spirits back. They can now take that main stairs control. And Spirits will retain 2 of those Toxic Babes in his pocket, so he can use those late round to try to deny a plant. But even still, I think he wanted to deny a little bit more on that main stairs. I think that needed to be the opening point where they work a pick or where they stall a lot of time. With low HP, it's the right call to retreat, but they need to have good anchor play. Admittedly, they did have that in round number 1.
They did. Spirits and Adam had a slow start on Cafe. It is repeating itself, much to the depths of Unwanted, who will now look longingly at a scoreboard that also has Gavin at 0 kills. Very out of the ordinary for how he's had a tournament where he's dominated so well. Faze Clan have drones in every nook and cranny of this bomb site. They've been getting picked away at by Unwanted. Only 2 of those drones remain, but Faze probably gained enough intel to say who really cares at this point. Fire will go down, and oh my, Adam is getting cooked alive in his position, forced into the hallway. Gavin breaks the goose egg as Dream is punished by KDS. Both teams now just killing each other all over the bomb site as the proverbial rubber hits the proverbial road. Houghton and Souls now in a one-on-one shootout with no diffuser in hand for Faze Clan. Houghton will get a swing over through the hallway, lined up on the wrong side of those crates, and now Souls will be in pursuit, but Houghton has managed to peel off over towards blue. Souls wants the engagement, but Houghton swings on him. Souls put in a position where he had to do battle against the clock, and it gave Houghton an opening to capitalize. To this point for Unwanted, as in saw Dream, Gavin, and Houghton leading the way on Cafe. A great read now.
Oh, so close.
KDS taking a lot of damage, but the Nitro Cell was about a second too late. KDS could have been blown sky high, and with it, have to expect some of the chances for Faze Clan would have gone with him.
Half the HP, though, still removed, and he's going to move over to this window position instead. Vidiking with the fuse kit on the Monty is still holding on to construction, so that seems like where the push is going to come through. But Faze are still taking their time. They're a team who like to use the clock as much as they can. If they can get Jacuzzi open, that would be nice. If they can clear out Spirits, who we saw playing on that bottom floor, that would be effective as well. Here comes Jacuzzi.
Dream is in such a bad spot here, on the run, being hounded inside a bathroom as now Vidiking breathes down their neck. He's trying to ping the Legion, but instead he's getting a ping on the Kiba barrier behind him. Handy starts things off, the Nitro Cell will go, down goes Souls, as they will continue to trade back and forth. Now it's Dream on the board. 3 separate players credited with kills on the side of Unwanted, but Cyber and Handy are just so good in the clutch and the lead. They're gonna cheer for the North American teams. That's just how it works. Unwanted need everything that the crowd has. They need everything that the team has to stay in this match at the moment, because at this point they've been outclassed by Faze.
It's a good time waste so far over by Construction. Losing Hot and Cold feels kind of bad for it, but Yazami had already done a lot of work setting up that part of the map. Bottom floor fight, hugely important. Handy 7-2, doesn't lose these often. Actually just takes time away, says, what if I just stop the wall from being bandit tricked?
What if Gavin actually wants to get active with Dream by his side? Zono canister in the supply door, leading the lounge, preventing Unwanted and preventing Faze Claim from doing battle for the time being. Cyber takes down Adam, and now Gavin will freeze himself in this position. The death mark will no longer work. KDS on that beat, Gavin dies. Faze Clan in full control. No flawless round as Dream fires back and finds 2. Sidearm will have to come out, and he hits 4 shots.
Wait a minute.
Down below, but with no way to stop the plant other than bullets. He'll retake red now. 16 bullets in his magazine. Cross being watched by Vidiking. Dream fighting himself out of this position. Faze Clan with the right read. And Vidiking just needs to wait. Dream had nowhere to go.
Because they're Faze Clan, of course they do. It's not a heavy commitment to a roam, but there is some rat play going on here, Parker, as KDS is being hid out in garage and Cyber is shooting drones for him and causing a distraction.
There's a drone hold to his left. Oh my! KDS goes undroned though, and a massive 2K! Blowing this round wide open. Brilliantly timed by Faze Clan, and immediately Unwanted lose their Blackbeard and their Capitao. A devastating start for the North Americans, Jesse.
You couldn't have lost 2 more important operators, maybe the Habana, but even still, losing the Capitao for the execute is so rough, and Spirits has not had the success on this operator throughout the day. He's been so good with shields throughout the tournament, but something about Faze Clan, they've just seemed to figure him out.
There's another roam upstairs. Handy goes undroned. Unwanted losing out on information. Nix mentioned how that was a problem, and now it is coming to pass yet again. As the flames inside of Dirt Tunnel do no good. Hot and Cold now absorbing an awful lot of damage from that Nitro Cells. Those Goyo canisters will just buy an endless amount of time for Faze.
And they've got a lot of time, to be fair, Unwanted. The problem is they don't want to go past that Dirt Tunnel because they don't know where these other Faze Clan players are. Only 3 drones scattered around the map, and this is a risky maneuver because Adam could get flanked at any moment.
Still got those 2 adrenal surges to give Hot and Cold a bit more HP, but 5 players remain for Faze Clan. You've got your work cut out for you. Nitro Cell goes off. Houghton doesn't suffer through it. He continues onwards, absorbing an awful lot of damage. Adam, though, looking for some coverage. It's all up to Houghton as KDS gets 3. Handy with the knockout blow. Faze Clan want this rematch against Furia, and they are...
Put a battery on this wall. That will be probably the job of Adam to go through, if not a frag grenade to clear that. Or you could go the old-fashioned way. He's also stopped out that Nitro Cell, so beautifully tossed out.
I don't know if the Nitro Cell was botched or was meant to land in that opening, but either way, it does not find the success that it was looking for. Now they'll fire through the wall and try to keep these Faze defenders far enough back.
Dream is still situated outside the main breach, and he's waiting for Gavin to rotate over so they can get the main CC wall open. If they get this, there goes the long-range EMP. It opens up a second angle that will be devastating for the positioning of Faze Clan.
Hot and Cold has been dropped. He was coming to blows with King. The leader on the side of Faze Clan has been exceptional so far, but Spirits of Dream have found an opening, and two stacked up over towards red will pose a problem for Faze. Soul's fighting his way out of his position against Adams. Now Spirits is in tow. Nitro Cells landing as it's Spirits and Gavin against two from Faze. No diffuser in hand for Unwanted. They will need to retrieve the case, which is far removed from the execute. Does give Handy and King an opportunity to get back to the site. King is spotted. Handy is down below, but with no explosives, he will have to take this engagement head on. Up top of the stairs, seeing Gavin, the Blackbeard is off of the plant. King, at this point, nothing but a human drone, as Unwanted scramble to get out of the bomb site in the post plant. Gavin holding this tight angle on the wall, Blackbeard giving the information away. Handy wins one. How about a second engagement, trying to force this Blackbeard in? He's gonna be immobile for the time being. Handy looking to long arm it. Spirits will go for the vault in towards construction, buying time. The mirror in hot pursuit now. Limited opportunity. Spirits wins the engagement. A huge round from the French Canadian, and Unwanted will not allow Faze Clan to take series. This time, if you're able to keep the Valkyrie hidden, well, the damage that you can do is quite extensive. They had a good read on Gavin's entry inside of Raptors, but nothing came of it. And now it's Unwanted's job to open up this top.
Con single opened up. They're looking for Jacuzzi as well. Should be able to get this open now as Gavin's tossing out his last Selma charges. It's been good hard breach. No disruption from Faze Clan for the first 2 minutes of this round. Unwanted retake cash. They've got Jacuzzi open. They can go Logi if they want. They have a ton of options in the 5v5.
Everybody's still alive with 40 seconds left. Jesse, this is going to be an all-out brawl. Cyber looked ready to get the very first kill, but it's Souls to do that instead. KDS goes big for two, transferring over to Gavin. He cannot secure. Spirits and Adam are the last two standing. Faze doubling up in numbers, looking for match point, series point. It eluded.
Problems on this bomb site by playing aggressive, and if he gets misdroned, I believe he just did, he could cause even more issues. Cyber once again playing that role of a drone shooter, the distraction. Eventually, Unwanted are going to wander over towards Secret Stairs, and that could be an opportunity, but Gavin was able to shut it down.
And KDS has been a big difference maker in this series. It was him and Souls on map number 1. Now it's Handy and KDS putting up numbers here on map 2. Faze Clan still have plenty of tools in their arsenal. They can make a course correction. You gotta wonder if all those Kiva barriers got put down or not. That will give some staying power to the defenders. Unwanted have an advantage with 1 minute left on the clock.
This is your time to set things up. You've already stopped one bit of aggression from Faze. You wouldn't expect another. Gavin's taking control of blue. The kitchen hatch is open. The moto hatch is open. A lot of angles being exposed for Unwanted, but they gotta pick and choose where they want to go. Right now, it's looking like kitchen's gonna be the most likely drop. We see main stairs often as an opportunity when a Sens is involved too. You toss that roller down the hallway to get some lines of sight blocked. It's going to be important that Faze step up for a pick early.
It is insane how aggressively King is holding that part of the map. Dream as backup as now Spirits is the focal point, marching his way down the main corridor. The Sens wall taking lines of sight away. Cyber the only one with a pulse at the moment as it's him in a 1v4. He manages to stop the defuse with 20 seconds left, and now he will be watched over in Moto. But Dream sends him skidding off the road, and Unwanted takes an incredibly vital round.
All time in a single map.
I think that's a pretty good way of putting it.
So Faze Clan struggles with the mental in the past, but they get the opening pick in round 11.
And Spirits has been very ineffective in both of these maps so far.
Yeah.
If there is to be a post-mortem for Unwanted, I fear what Spirits and Adam's report card will show. I mixed metaphors, it's fun.
Wow.
You don't do report cards for post-mortems.
You could.
Maybe you do, I'm not a mortician. Or a corn. I just talk about video games. And what I can tell you right now is Faze Clan have so much stall potential, Jess.
Yep, and they have so much map control too. What do Unwanted have? Literally nothing. They want to get Raptors, but against an Azami, good luck. They've got Hot and Cold on the Capitao, and they've got nades.
KDS is fighting his way out of this position. He might be a dead man walking. Gavin taking down Cyber, grenade misses, Adam dies at the door. KDS didn't seem to have that information relayed to him from Handy, as now the clash will slow them down on the breach. Hot and fishing down below rafters for a pick, as Dream had his hands full with the shield. Gavin is not far removed from Garage either, but he will have to link up with Dream. Hotten's the one holding the diffuser. If he dies, they surrender it inside of Garage. That would be a devastating place for it to go down.
But at the same time, you cannot execute without killing KDS, so you've got to commit to this.
And they're gonna do just that. They run up, he's totally blind.
Good.
Bullets will fly through the rotate, as now that's Raptors control, and Gavin is the cross outside. A great look for Unwanted at this moment, as these three Faze defenders are boxed into cash. The only thing working in their favor, Jesse, is Vidiking. The shield can walk up and nullify Gavin's potential. Hotten only has one smoke remaining. No way to spread fire and keep these defenders in an uncomfortable position. Now it's Dream slowed down. Reminder, Hotten had that diffuser, looking for an opening. He and Dream and it's a two-piece for Dream as we go on. You can kind of lightly drone Clubhouse. The moment you don't early drone it and you get bitten for it, you now go and over-drone the map. And that's exactly what we're seeing from Unwanted, where because KDS was able to fly under the radar, now we are having slower entries from Unwanted as they dot their I's and cross their T's.
With the Hibana, they've opened up every hatch that they could want on this site. Eyeing that Moto hatch, deciding who wants to pick up the defuse kit. It will be Spirits who can plant with that shield on his back. Last time they rolled the Sens down the main hallway and tried to plant back armory. That won't be an option today.
There's no sense, that's why.
Correct, Parker, that is true. Church Wall looks very intimidating, fully electrified, fully reinforced, and a Nitro ready to toss over top. Here it goes. Good patience by Spirits. Doesn't get caught off by that, but they gotta find an entry.
Adam falls in the hands of Handy, and now next one up is Dream. At the door frame, seeing the bandit, down goes Handy. Gavin drops over towards Blue. A linear execute from Unwanted is not what they want. They can pick up Spirits as Dream absorbs some damage from the shock wires on the wall. Hot and holding over that kitchen hatch. A 3v3. Coming down to the wire, only 10 seconds left, and diffuser will need to be retrieved. Spirits had dropped it when he fell. Now it's Hotten to drop. 2 remain for Unwanted. Faze Clan have things working. A triple for Dream, but Vidiking will stop them in their tracks. And Faze Clan wakes Unwanted from their dream run. We will have an SI Grand Finals rematch in the lower bracket, as Faze and Furia will do battle for a spot in the SI